Hey, Lost Levelers, this is Chris. I just wanted to give you guys some insight regarding this episode. This is finally our 2015 Best of Movies and Games episode, something that we always put out every year, and we did it a couple weeks ago, and then after the fact, we kind of realized that there was one movie that wasn't on our list that was actually in 2015, where I thought it was in 2014, so I didn't include it. And the same thing with Alex. That movie is It Follows. It's a great movie. We talked about it in a roundtable discussion. So if you wanted to get our insight on that, definitely listen to that roundtable. Really good movie. It wouldn't make our top three. However, it would definitely be in our honorable mentions. So I did want to give you guys that disclaimer here because we did really enjoy that movie. And it would definitely be in our honorable mentions. So that being said, I really appreciate you guys listening and enjoy the show.
You've unlocked a round table.
Welcome to the Lost Level Podcast. My name is Chris. With me is Alex.
Hello.
And this Lost Level episode, we're actually doing our best of 2015.
Yeah, a little late, but...
Way late. We finally got around to it. But we've been doing a lot of movie reviews lately. In the last couple of weeks, there's just been a couple movies that we just haven't really wanted to watch. And we're like, all right, well, let's just finally get this out.
Yeah, and it's about that time that we did it.
Yeah, we've done it every year. So this is kind of like a fun thing. We couldn't get Adam... all of our schedules couldn't get all on the same page. So unfortunately, Adam's not with us this time, which is unfortunate. So Alex and I said, rather than delaying it further, we're just going to go ahead and record this episode.
Essentially.
Rather than giving you a review of 50 Shades of Black.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure our listeners are just waiting to hear that.
Right. See, exactly the point. So that's why we chose not to do the last couple weeks of movies, because like it was going to be the fifth wave, which has been bombing really hard.
Yeah.
Or 50 Shades of Black.
It's movies where the understanding is amongst everyone that they're bad movies.
Yeah. So it's like, how do we make that podcast entertaining? Who's going to watch that or listen to that? Like,
essentially.
Like, seriously, they reviewed that? Like, it would have to be us getting bombed and then going to the theater and being just like, this is the most insane movie ever.
Essentially, yeah. We would be those viewers.
Yeah, and that's the only way that we could probably
make it entertaining.
Yeah. So, with that being said, we decided, you know what? Let's do our year end. It's the end of the month of January. So, unfortunately, first off, we're going to start off with games, doing our tops, and then we're going to go into movies after that. But for me personally, I haven't played a lot of games this year. This is another reason, like subconsciously, I kept on holding off on this podcast because I really wanted to play a couple more games before we did this. But that kind of just led to me procrastinating even more. I'm like, I'll get to it.
No, of course, that's how it always goes.
And I didn't do it. So I feel really embarrassed talking about games right now. So this is my warning. This is me being personally honest. The fact that I didn't play very many games, so my list is ridiculous. Just because it's games that I've actually played.
Right.
So I do want to mention that right off the bat. The other thing that with the format change from our previous podcasts in regards to the best of, we usually did top fives and top threes. So top five games, top threes of movies. This year, because the fact that I haven't played very much, we're doing top three of each.
Yeah. It's easier that way. It condenses everything. Just kind of makes everything tighter.
Yeah, I agree. So why don't we start off with gaming here? So starting from bottom, working our ways up.
Okay, yeah, that's usually how these lists go.
All right.
For me...
So number three.
Number 3 for me, 2015, is Life is Strange.
Hmm.
It's one of those games that I kept hearing about, and I was like, okay, it sounds interesting. I like adventure games. I like, more story-driven games these days. So, I'll give it a chance. And, like, that game got me hooked after the first episode. It's 5 episodes. As, kind of like those Telltale games.
Essentially, yeah.
It plays very similar to that with an extra mechanic of rewinding time.
Okay.
And to make events play out differently if you don't like the choice you made. You're like, oh, I don't really like that. You can rewind it and go through and choose again, so it plays out in your favor.
Interesting.
But there's also some minor puzzle solving things with it as well.
Okay.
Where you rewind time. So it's a cool little mechanic, but I mean, the gameplay is very basic. Really, not anything you haven't seen before. But the story it delivers is fantastic.
That's good.
Like it is. By the end of the 5th episode, I needed a drink.
Wow.
Like it hit me in the gut hard.
Yeah, I remember you coming over the day that you ended it, and you were just like, it was noticeably something bothering you.
I was like, I fucking beat that game, and I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I've never had a game make me cry, but this was almost that game. I was just like, Jesus Christ. And I mean, there's like almost every episode is like that. There's something in every episode that just really hits you hard. You're like, shit, dude. And it's like, but it's the whole tone of the game is really interesting because it's this girl in college. So, there's the high school, or yeah, she's in high school rather. But it's like, that high school kind of melodrama and bullshit that she deals with. But they make it feel so very human and like how it affects her. And it's really just smart and touching about it. And it like when it's not ripping your heart out of your chest, it gives you this really warm feeling. But there's also there's shit going on as well that she's trying to uncover.
Right.
And when that stuff's happening, there's this whole undertone of just dread that creeps through you. And like, I was hesitant to play on just because like, I did not like where it was going.
Right.
Like I sensed it. I'm like, I don't think I have the constitution for this.
Oh no.
But it does a really great job of crafting the story and making you care about the characters and their relationships and everything. And like, even though it deals with like time travel and stuff like that, it's not like super sci-fi. And even when they do, talk about the time travel, it talks about it in a very human way, and how manipulating this and like how it like changes her perspective and everything. And it almost gave me an existential crisis at some point.
Wow.
So like, I really recommend this game. I mean, there's some cheesy dialogue, and it's a last gen game. It was built for last gen. You can play it on PS4. You can play it on current gen, but it was built for the last gen. So like, all the models and stuff, it's not fantastic looking. They do what they can, and I think it has a strong art direction. Everything kind of looks nice, cohesive, but just a little rough around the edges at some point. But otherwise than that, just really great game to play.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's on my list of things to get to, and I really, it was one of those games I procrastinated on.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wanted to play it because I knew it had potential to be on my list, and I just didn't have the opportunity to because we were doing a lot of other things for Lost Level right now,
mm-hmm.
and trying to get some stuff organized in house. So like, I kind of just didn't have the opportunity to play it, but that is definitely something that sounds like I want to play it.
Yes, I think it'd be really up your alley.
How long are the episodes?
They're about 3-ish hours each.
Okay.
'Cause yeah, when I beat it yesterday before we were recording, I really wanted to beat it yesterday because I felt it was going to be on my top 3 list, and I was right. I burnt through the last 2 within 6 hours. So yeah, they're all about that length.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you? Because we talked about this in previous podcasts when we talked about games, and this gives you the opportunity to rewind.
Yeah.
Are you metagaming it to the point of like, are you rewinding all the time to find?
No. There's definitely cutoff points of
okay.
when you can rewind. It's like you can only do it in a scene or this long.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you leave an area, that's it. Your rewind work doesn't work anymore to go back to that area. So it has limited scope. It's
okay.
usually like having a conversation with these people, like, oh, you said something wrong. Okay, I did not say that, or when I said I didn't intend it to have that implication, so rewind it and say, okay, this is what I really wanted to say, and it really clarifies that, because sometimes you have that problem in games like Dragon Age or Mass Effect.
Yes.
You think you're choosing this option, and they're like, no, that's not what I meant. That kind of negates that problem. So
I've definitely done that in both of those games that you just mentioned.
yes, so it's helpful for actually communicating what you want to communicate in the game, and it's key because this whole game is about building a relationship with people.
Right.
So yeah.
All right. So for my number 3 on the list is a game that I kind of wanted to argue about back and forth with you because I don't think it should be on my list, but you said it's okay.
Yes.
And that's going to be Destiny Taken King.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because Destiny did come out last year, and I really did not like Destiny Year 1.
Oh, no. I shouldn't say no, but very few people did.
I bought it at launch. I played a few hours of it, but it never grabbed me. I didn't care about it. The voice acting was atrocious. Just everything about it, I did not enjoy my experience. So I stopped playing it. Until this year, when The Taken King came out, I had a lot of friends saying, hey, we jumped on Destiny. You need to start playing. I'm like, no, dude, I hate that game. And no, they're like, no, it changed. It's different. They did a lot more with this expansion pack. They made it fun.
Yes.
So I'm like, all right, fine. So to play with other people, to mutual friends, and get through it, started playing it, and I got hooked immediately.
Yeah, and you brought me in with you, and I got hooked just as well.
Yeah, it's such a fun experience now. 3 fire teams, just going around doing missions over and over, getting better loot, getting better weapons.
Right. Or even doing a 6-person raid. If you're going with people who know what they're doing and can walk you through it, it's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I can see how it could be really frustrating when you're going in blind with, fresh faces that have never done a raid like that before, but...
Yeah, for raids, for sure. Like, having a couple people in your group that are experienced, that have done the raids multiple times, know what to expect, assigning you tasks during that raid helps. There's no possible way. Like, if you and me and a couple other people, just randoms, came in, there's no way we would have done it.
Oh, God, no.
Because I don't know the patterns. I don't know the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even know the mechanics of the battle. Like, oh, you have to run and stand on this.
Right.
And it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, it would just not been a fun experience. Luckily for us, for the raid that we did recently, we had people who were friends of friends who walked us through, and they did an awesome job.
And we're thankfully very patient with us as well.
Yeah, that's true too, because some of those jumping puzzles suck.
Oh, yes,
those
definitely.
Are mind-numbingly stupid. But aside from that, I really enjoy Taken King now. I look forward to the daily social events, the daily challenges that they have.
You even like doing Crucible stuff, and you normally hate online player versus player.
That's a valid fact. Anybody who knows me knows that I immediately deter from any Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that, just because the learning curve on those is too much. I stopped playing competitive multiplayer years ago, and I haven't picked it up since. So now for me to walk into a battle or into a Call of Duty game, I'll just get annihilated nonstop, and it's not fun. That's not fun at all. I started playing a little bit more when we did like Plants vs. Zombies and games like that, where I felt like I had a chance, or Titanfall.
Right.
Where even though I wasn't very good at Titanfall, I still felt like I was doing something.
Yeah, because you had those grunts that you could kill.
I was killing grunts. I was having fun with multiplayer again. It was like making me appreciate it. As opposed to playing like a Halo or something like that. So with Crucible, as you kind of just touched on, I feel like I can hold my own.
Right.
I could still get some kills. And it's fun.
Yes, because you've played your character and you've mastered that character to a degree, so you're really comfortable with it, and it's just a balance of the powers and guns and everything like that. So yes, there's still a lot of skill involved, but there's just a balance of the classes. As long as you know how to use your class, you're going to do pretty decent. Yeah,
and that's what I really enjoy about it. So I love the hell out of that game. So if you're like me, gave up on Destiny in year 1, I would recommend picking up Taken King. Because honestly,
it feels like a new game.
It does. It feels like a completely different game. It's a lot of fun online. There's still a bunch of people playing it. It has a good fan base, a good community going about it. And you can find it for cheap a lot.
Yeah. I'm sure a deal's going to pop up every now and then.
Yeah, there's always been deals for it. Like, I picked it up when I was like 35. I saw it for 30 a couple of weeks back. It's a good deal for what you get out of it. So, highly recommend that.
All right. Now going on to my number 2 for 2015 is Metal Gear Solid 5. I've always kind of been a big fan of the series, so of course, I had to play the final one of the franchise where Hideo Kojima got fired from Konami after it.
Right.
So I kind of had to hop on, and it's just a really good game. Like it's sandbox done very, very well. I mean, don't go in this expecting your traditional Metal Gear Solid game. There's not super long exposition or anything like that. It focuses a lot just on gameplay and getting stuff done.
Yeah.
And just, going into the town and, figuring out how to infiltrate these different bunkers and everything like that, and just capture all these points and, Fulton people out. It's just really fun. I spent a lot of time doing it, and it looks fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Just the sheer amount of stuff you could do, and all the cool little Easter eggs. Like, you could hide in a bathroom and play a tape of someone shitting, and if people walk past, they won't bother looking in there for you because they'll think someone's in there actually using the bathroom. Like, there's so much tiny detail to shit like that I really appreciate Kojima for that, because you can tell he puts a lot of care into his projects.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, and it's for the most part a satisfying end to the franchise. The true ending that's revealed, I kind of rolled my eyes at. But like I said, there's not a lot of exposition in this game, but it goes a little further than what you even expect from Metal Gear Solid. It's like, okay, that's totally unbelievable, but whatever. I enjoyed the game up until this point. I'll let it go. I'll just go with it. Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I've never looked at Kojima and thought, like, great storyteller.
No. But definitely someone who has a great cinematic eye, and that still carries over.
Yeah, and I wish Adam was on the cast just because of the fact that you guys could talk about this a little bit more, because I did not play this game.
Right.
And I'm not as familiar with Metal Gear, unless you want to talk about like the very first Metal Gear that came out on NES. That was really my stint with Metal Gear.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fun. It really engaged me for like a solid 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I played that hardcore.
Oh yeah.
So
awesome.
All right.
My number 2 is Rocket League.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a lot of game nights here at Lost Level. We have a lot of people coming over, so we play a lot of
party games.
Yeah, party games. Jackbox, Rocket League, iDarb, even played a while.
Towerfall, all those.
Ton.
Yes, all those.
Yeah, so we look for party games, and we're like, yeah, man, let's try these games out. And one stood above the rest this year, and that would be Rocket League.
Definitely.
Such a weird game. Like, you would think, like, soccer with cars, like, it sounds kind of dumb. But then you start playing it, and you just get immediately hooked to it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels really great. All the cars control really well, and once you really start to learn like the boost powers and how to really manipulate those and all the other maneuvers you can do,
the jumping, the flipping, the timing your jumps and flips,
the rolls, all of that, like you can see where people get really good at this game, and there's plenty of YouTube videos up there of people pulling off insane maneuvers.
Yeah, which is awesome. And that's part of the fun, too, because like you watch some of these videos and like, oh, man, I got to learn how to do that. And you kind of, it just gets into that competitive nature about it. And like, I have to beat my friends. I have to get better. So next time we have a game night, I don't look like an ass, and I'm just going to start crushing them.
Right.
So yeah, it's that type of fun game that came kind of just out of nowhere, to be honest.
Right. I mean, it came out and it was a free on PlayStation Plus, and it wouldn't have gotten a lot of attention if it wasn't for that, I don't think.
Yeah, like I would have never played it, obviously.
But people were talking and started playing, and just a huge community grew out of it.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I really enjoy that game. Yes, I know you're thinking like Rocket League, you're number 2. Like, come on. But again,
yeah,
I gave my warning before. These are games that I've played this year, and not necessarily like I think Metal Gear would have probably been on there, or some other games that aren't going to be mentioned here, just because I didn't have the opportunity to finish them. So
right.
Okay, so your number 1 of the year.
my number one of the year is Fallout 4.
Yes.
I mean, I think that was pretty much expected from me. People know how much of a fan I am of the previous iterations. Even the original Fallout and Fallout 2, I enjoyed quite a bit.
Yep.
But I mean, it just feels so good to be back in that world. Like, I love getting to VATS. I love just, finding cool weapons and taking down super mutants with headshots and sniper rifles.
Those super mutants look intimidating.
Oh, they're brutal. Like, they have ones that carry the mini nukes with them now, and they'll run towards you like suicide bombers. So it's scary sometimes. So you have to like back off and run away and like snipe the nuke in their hand, and they'll explode and take out their party.
That's awesome.
It's so cool. And I mean, just with all the companions and everything like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, you get dog meat right at the very beginning, and everyone loves dog meat.
Yeah.
So,
obviously.
I was with him for a long time. I'm like, I'm going to change it up. And so I started using different people. I'm like, yeah, I like all these other people as well. They're cool, and they have great personalities, and you really start to like them. Or you could just do the whole lone wolf thing and go by yourself. Mm-hmm. But it's like I'm nowhere near to completing the game, to be completely honest. But I've enjoyed myself thus far. And it being a game,
put a lot of time into it too.
Yeah, and it being a game where there's so much more to just the main story and campaign. Like, you can tell there's a lot there, and I'm going to like pretty much all of it. So there you have it, Fallout 4.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's a game that I want to play, but I know that it's a little too daunting for me right now.
You don't have to do so much time building. Like, there are the first few missions where they teach you how to build.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You don't have to do any more building outside of that.
Yeah.
Or you could go insane like my friend Tyler and build a fucking like Iron Man suit display for all your power armor.
Yeah. And I can't do that.
No.
I don't have time for that.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. It's nuts because a lot of people do that stuff. And it's amazing what they do, but I can't commit my time to playing it. So I started it, really enjoyed it. I liked being, like as you kind of said, I enjoyed being back in that universe. Mm-hmm. So hopefully soon I'll get that itch.
I hope so too.
So my number one is a game that I forced us to do a roundtable discussion of.
Oh, you didn't force us. I was happy to do a roundtable discussion on it.
But like it wasn't planned, I guess. It wasn't on the Lost Level radar of us to do it. But like as I started playing it, I immediately texted and like we're talking about this.
Yeah,
and that is Until Dawn.
Right. Also, another very story-driven game.
Yep. So
also a game with a butterfly effect, which is very present in Life is Strange as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that theme carries throughout both those games.
Very nice. Yeah, I know I'm going to like Life is Strange. I know I'm going to like Tales of the Borderland and the Telltale games. I enjoy playing those games. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to sit down here the first quarter of 2016 and play them. But yeah. Until Dawn, there's really not much to say, obviously, that hasn't been said. If you haven't listened to our podcast, our roundtable discussion of Until Dawn, I would encourage you to do that, to get our thoughts more in depth here. But yeah, I'll save some time and not really go into it now. But I was hooked. It's a story-driven game, horror movie type of genre thing that I just could not put down.
Yeah.
And I loved it. So it's that emotion. It's that like feeling of love and
caring about the characters and dread for them and everything.
That's where my opinion comes from for my number one. It's like I enjoyed it that much this year that's the game that I want.
Definitely.
Is it the best game that came out this year? Probably not. I heard Witcher's really good. Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid,
right?
Far Cry. There's
Far Cry.
Is there a Far Cry?
Not this year. That was last year.
Oh, was that last year?
Yeah, that was mine and Adam's top list.
That's right. But yeah, just there's a ton of games that came out that like the big budget games and stuff.
Exactly, the AAAs.
Yeah. So then, didn't get a chance to play a lot of them this year. So for me, out of the games that I did play, Until Dawn is it.
Yeah. I mean, springboarding off of that, Until Dawn was on my honorable mention list.
Yeah.
So, we talked about that. So going forward with my honorable mention list, I'm going to go with the indie darling Undertale.
Okay.
Now, for those of you who may not heard of it, it's on Steam, it's available on Steam, and it's like an old school like NES RPG looking game. It looks almost like the Earthbound Mother series.
Mm-hmm.
And just it seems very basic at first, just battle monsters in an RPG fashion. But then they give you a new mechanic of talking to the monsters that you fight and pacifying them. So you don't actually fight them at all. You just kind of become buddies with them, or scare them off, or whatever. So they don't want to fight you anymore.
Interesting.
And it's it's actually really interesting. And that actually makes it so there's multiple endings where you have the perfect pacifist ending where you can beat the whole game without killing a single monster. So there's the mechanics behind that, and even outside of that, the battle system, even though it's your basic turn-based type thing where you pick and you select what you want to do, when you're being attacked, it's different because it's not just like, oh, you're going to get hit for this much. It's like you're just little heart on the screen and you're dodging the attacks that they're throwing at you. So it's like a pattern that you have to follow and everything. And it gets really cool. Then it seems very basic at first with some really good gags in there that I actually laughed out loud a few times at. Then it starts taking kind of like this emotional swing to it. And I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. This is, wow, okay, there's story here. And then you get to I don't really want to spoil it for anybody, but you get to like the final battle and it becomes very meta and self-aware of itself.
Okay.
And like really starts to game the game and like game you. And I was like, oh, did my game just crash? No, that's part of the game. Is it shutting down? And it just gets crazy and insane. And it's something I actually want. You could probably play through it in like 5 or 6 hours. And it's something I want to play through again so I could get that perfect pacifist ending and everything.
That's awesome.
But yeah, really cool.
What else you got?
And my other honorable mention is Ori and the Blind Forest. This game got quite a bit of buzz when it first came out. It's fantastic looking game. The art style of it's really good.
The music is excellent.
Oh god, the music is so good. But also it's just a really solid Metroidvania type game.
Yeah. So
it's unlocking the abilities so you can get here and there, and it's just. And once again, another really touching and emotionally charged story. So, yeah, I can't recommend those games enough.
Yeah, and I don't really have any honorable mentions. So I skipped that and kind of went towards relief.
Disappointments.
Yeah, I love the disappointments. It's so much more fun to talk about.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, though.
Right, but like writing that list is always fun. So why don't we get into that for games?
I think I only have one. Do you have how many?
I have 2.
You have 2. Okay. Go with.
All right, I'll start off. All right, so disappointments. That doesn't necessarily mean the game is bad or anything like that. It's just a game that games that I'm personally just kind of disappointed with. I expected more.
Yeah.
I expected more fun out of it or whatever. For whatever reason, they're just disappointing to me personally. So, that being said, Batman Arkham Knight.
Okay, that's not a game I got a chance to play this year. So.
Yeah, it's. The franchise started out really strong with Inside Arkham, the first game.
Arkham Asylum, yeah.
Arkham Asylum is definitely one of my favorite games. I love that game. I played the hell out of it. I'm a huge Batman fan, and could not play that game enough. And then they expanded it, like, oh, we want a bigger world. So they went into Arkham City, and then they started putting all this like stuff to collect and all that stuff. And they got like, I don't know. I don't feel like collecting 100 Joker things, and then it's kind of expanded
Riddler.
since then, or Riddler trophies.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of expanded now to the point of like now they like, well, we got to do something different for the game, so let's put the Batmobile in it.
Right.
And I didn't care about driving around a tank.
A lot of people didn't care about that.
Like I just wanted to be Batman again, and just do that shit. And then it turned into like a tank simulator type of thing where you're doing repetitive over and over again. You run into like an open area, tanks start attacking you. You do the same moves over and over again. Move on.
And it just gets very grindy at that point.
Yeah, and I didn't really enjoy that.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
And I think that just, proves to show when it comes to game design, like, bigger isn't always necessarily better.
Right.
I mean, Arkham Asylum was great because of how confined it was, and it really, really focused on that same kind of Metroidvania type gameplay where it's unlocking new abilities and gadgets so you can get to here or, uncover this spot or whatever. And they still had that to, a degree in Arkham City, but everything was just so much more open, and it's just, I don't think it necessarily made it better, just different.
Yeah, it just made a more open world, which people wanted. People were crying about that. But like, I thought the story of Arkham Asylum was great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
I like the Scarecrow levels and everything. It was great storytelling.
And it made the environment seem a lot more intimate and just not just rooftop after rooftop.
Yeah. So by four games, I was just kind of
right.
Yeah, they had origins. Too.
Yeah.
By the fourth game, I'm like, okay, I really love Batman, but I want something different.
Yeah.
And the fighting, the combo style, everything like that is great in the game.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure it still feels great, but it's just too much at this point.
Yeah. So that was my disappointment. I have another one, but
yeah, I think we have the same one, which is Halo 5.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I wanted you to go first. Like we did. That was one of our other roundtable discussions of the game this year was Halo 5, and how we were just. It wasn't what we wanted from the Halo series.
That's true. Yeah, it's just there's so much more to the universe, and the way this was marketed, the way that it was hyped, I'm just disappointed with it. I'm kind of
totally.
Just
it doesn't really feel. I mean, it's still Halo, but it's just you don't get that same idea of the grand battles going on like you used to.
Yeah, now there's Spartans everywhere.
Four Spartans going against a group is fine, but I like being a Spartan amongst the other Marines. Really showing off what a Spartan can do as opposed to the other guys. That's what made you feel awesome, and you just don't get that in this.
Yeah, which is disappointing.
Yes.
Huge disappointment for me.
Exactly why it's on this list.
All right. So my bread and butter of the year, obviously, as you could tell with the focus shift in Lost Level, has been movies.
Yeah.
Movies are just easier to consume, easier for us to sit and record right after. We're not, devoting 40 hours to something as quick as possible to get a review out.
Yes, exactly.
It's more tangible for Lost Level. And for me, it's always kind of been like that. I've always been the movie-centric type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Alex and Adam have always been the game-focused people. However, this year, we kind of shifted a little bit, and I had Alex coming out to more movies.
Right.
And we started doing more roundtables. And so this year, it's a lot nicer because I can have somebody to talk about movies with. As opposed to you guys talking about games and me just waiting patiently, like, I can't wait to get to the movie section.
Right.
But yeah, I love movies, obviously. So we're doing top 3, and it's hard for me to narrow it down just to 3 movies that I really enjoyed this year. But we'll do that. We'll do some honorable mentions. We'll do some disappointed. Same format. But yeah, so why don't we start out with your top 3rd movie?
Okay, number 3 for me in movies was Southpaw.
Oh, okay. That's surprising.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think that'd make your list.
Oh no, that movie really captivated me.
That's awesome.
I mean, we discussed it recently on the Creed podcast as well because we compared the two, and it's just something about this. I felt strongly for the story and what was going on because this is obviously a very flawed character who's trying to do better by himself and his child, and he's just watching him struggle and just seeing what is on the line for him. Like, it makes the whole story and everything just that much more engaging, because you care about everything and you really care about the outcome of him and his life. So, I mean, and Jake Gyllenhaal just does such an incredible job.
Yeah.
He's, that guy, that guy better win an Oscar sometime soon. Like, he's...
I don't want to say underrated, but not necessarily on the radar.
Right.
It's
like,
weird.
he doesn't get as much attention as he deserves.
Like, because, like, Nightcrawler last year was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he really gets into his roles.
He does, and it's just, he definitely needs more recognition, and once again, he just does a really great job in this movie. It's just all around really strong performance and story.
Yeah, no, I 100%. I'm surprised that it's on your list, to be honest. That's a fun surprise.
Good.
So for me, my third is going to be Mad Max.
Okay.
Such a fun movie.
Totally.
That came out of nowhere. Like, you're not expecting much from it because we live in the I wouldn't say year of like the generation of reboots and rehashes and remakes and
nostalgia, as we were saying.
Yeah, and that's something that's going to get talked about a little bit later here. But it's just we see all these original ideas getting re-put out because Hollywood is just trying to whatever it can catch. Mm-hmm. So you hear the announcement of a new Mad Max, you're like, all right, whatever. And then we went to watch it, and holy shit.
Right. One of the few movies that I've seen multiple times in theaters.
Yeah, like, I was, like, on the edge of my seat the whole entire time. Like, this is just one action-packed thrill ride.
Exactly.
It was amazing.
It has, yeah. Just enough exposition to really drive you along and make you understand characters and motives and care about them just enough so that the action was that much more exciting.
Yeah, I absolutely love that movie. I think it was so much fun. I've watched it multiple times now. And it's just, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, going off of that, that's my number 2 for this year.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, it's just, yeah, and just, as, people have been talking about, these strong female role models as well. They're not getting damsels in distress. You're getting women that kick ass as well, right alongside the titular character.
Yeah, so much so that there was controversy that they gave her too much of a role.
And it's like, no, that's fine. Mad Max is the vehicle, no pun intended, to this story. Like, he's like a conduit to everything we're seeing in this world, and that's his role. Right. And it's great. He's like the silent protagonist that, carries everything. That's that through line.
I think, honestly, that's one of the reasons the movie worked.
Mm-hmm.
Where they didn't try to focus necessarily on just rehashing or remaking, like, all right, Mad Max is this character today. He's in it. He's the vehicle, like as you said. But this is Furiosa's story.
Exactly.
This is a great story in that universe, and Max is there for the ride, and that's awesome.
Yes, and it just shows that there's so much more to the universe, and just there's a culture behind there that we get glimpses of, and they give us just enough to understand. Mm-hmm. So, just expertly crafted, incredible stunts and everything. That's
practical.
Practical. Which is always nice to see in this day and age.
Oh god, yeah, because you could easily go CGI heavy in a lot of movies nowadays, but like this movie had a lot of practical effects. You saw the difference in Star Wars quality with more practical sets.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said there, for sure.
Totally.
So for my number 2, we flipped ours.
Okay.
Mine is Southpaw.
Nice.
I love that movie. I related to the father-daughter relationship a lot.
Right.
So that on a personal level, obviously, that is something that hits me. And then I watched it again recently, and I was just as captivated as it was the first time watching it.
Yeah.
It's like I'll throw a movie on in the background a lot when I'm doing stuff, and I always put a movie on that I've already watched, so I could still do the stuff that I'm doing and have something on in the background, but I'm not committing time to it because I've already seen it.
Right.
So I do that a lot, And I did like, oh, I'll just throw a softball in the background. And my eyes kind of just went up. And I just started watching the whole movie again. Just because that's the type of movie it is.
It captivates you.
Really like that movie a lot. So
totally.
It's on that list. It's up there with like Warrior for me, where I know what's going to happen. I know everything that's going on in the movie, but I still sit there watching it excited.
Right.
And I've watched Warrior a billion times, and I'm still excited to watch it. It's great. So that's kind of like how I am with Southpaw now. I really like that movie a lot.
Okay.
All right.
And my number one for 2015, probably kind of controversial, but fuck it, I don't fucking care. I loved this movie, and it's Tomorrowland. Like, this movie is, it's so easy to be cynical in this day and age.
Yeah.
And this movie addresses it in such a smart manner. Like, I understand the controversy of it over, oh, you don't really get to see Tomorrowland or anything like that, but it's not really about the place of Tomorrowland, it's the idea of Tomorrowland and how we can achieve it, and not just passively let, shit fall apart. It's the idea of trying to make a better tomorrow.
Right.
And Tomorrowland's in us, guys. Tomorrowland is in us if we truly believe. And that's what this movie was trying to communicate. And it's just, I'm sad that not enough people want to go see the movie and saw that message of it, because I think it's something that we could all really take from.
Yeah, I think I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
I think that like when you went into this movie, the marketing kind of damaged it.
Oh yes,
because you don't get to see Tomorrowland nearly as much as you thought you would based on the trailers.
Right.
So when a lot of people walked out of that theater, they were thinking like, "Oh, fuck, man, I didn't see that much of Tomorrowland. That kind of sucks." And they completely the message went over their head.
Yes, and their expectations were not met. You were expecting something different and got something totally from left field.
Yeah.
So, but I was fine with that because it was a pleasant surprise. And I mean, George Clooney does a really good job, and he plays that character well. And just, seeing what he went through and everything that happened, like you get him and you understand him, but it's awesome to have this other character who's tagged along with him to be that light, to, try to instill that faith again. So I really like that movie.
Oh yeah, we talked about it glowingly.
Yeah.
We both really enjoyed that movie. The movie I watched again recently. It's a fun movie. It's hard to argue, for sure. But I'm sure a lot of people listening to the podcast are like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Well, I mean, if they listened to our roundtable, they would know how much we liked it.
Yeah, that's true. So my number one, I guess it's a movie where it's like, damn, that's his number one. That's really surprising. Hashtag for Paul. No, I'm just kidding. That's not.
I know it's not. I know you're number one.
The Martian.
Yeah.
Based on a true story.
I hate you.
Yeah, it's amazing how we have the technology to put Matt Damon on a planet and film it.
I fucking hate you so much right now.
Why?
Go ahead. Keep talking. Go ahead.
Well, now you just made me lose it. But yeah, it's such a great movie, based on a fun, great technological book, and something like you're just. It's fun watching survival and watching how he survives, the way that he is a botanist,
and being very charismatic about it as well.
Oh god, yeah. The writing is really well done. There's great touches of humor throughout the movie that keeps a kind of dim,
light
situation.
Yeah.
Lighthearted. It's fun. It's an easy watch.
Yeah.
It's not like you're bogged down by time, constantly looking at the clock like, oh god, this movie's still not over.
It keeps you engaged throughout the whole time.
Yeah, you're in it. You're on Mars with him. It's a great visual movie. It's a lot of fun. I loved it.
And like, even though you kind of expect certain beats to happen. When it happens, you're like, oh my god, you're still so captivated. You're so on the edge of your seat. It really keeps you engaged throughout.
Yeah, so I walked out of that theater thinking, man, I really love that movie, and I watched it again recently. But yeah, love it. This is my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, I can totally see that. It's on my honorable mention list, so I'm right. I'm there with you.
Yeah, you would think that Furious 7 would be.
No, I don't. I didn't think that because I know it's a guilty pleasure of yours, but I know you. I know you choose other qualities over that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my number one. Why don't we go into honorable mentions?
Okay. Another honorable mention for me is The Big Short, a movie that we recently did another roundtable discussion on.
Yeah.
It's just once again, it's taking this very technical concept, a very serious concept that happened recently in our nation's history, and really delves into it with a light sense of humor to not make it seem so dire and dismal, but still really wants to educate you about what's going on
and what can happen easily again.
Exactly.
Because it's some scary shit.
It is.
And the way that they dealt with that was amazing.
Very good, and just great performances all around.
Yeah.
Really, really worth the watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. I 100% agree. I really like that movie. That's also on my honorable mention list. So, Ex Machina.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was almost my number 3. However, just the action fun, repeated viewing of Mad Max won it out. But I really liked Ex Machina a lot.
Great screenplay.
Yeah. What's his name? Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac, yeah.
He is Poe in the latest Star Wars movie, so you might recognize him from that. But he is a great actor, and Ex Machina is a great movie.
Yes.
It's it engages you. It's thought provoking. Just overall, man.
And it really keeps you guessing throughout what's really going on. It does a good job of stringing you along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you haven't watched it, I would definitely go check it out, rent it, do something.
Mm-hmm.
One of my best movies of the year for sure.
Cool. Another honorable mention for me, kind of a weird one, but I really enjoyed this movie, despite how stupid it may be, is Turbo Kid.
Really?
Yeah, I loved that movie. That movie is just ridiculous fun. Wow. And I think part of it, a major part of it for me, is just the aesthetic of it.
Oh, yeah.
It has that Fallout feel, but an 80s Fallout feel, as if Fallout happened, the Fallout series happened with the 50s aesthetic. This has an 80s aesthetic to it, like late 80s, early 90s, and I just love that, like the music and everything, and just the ridiculous ultra violent gore, just the spraying fountains of blood, just people blowing up is just fucking hilarious. But even outside of that, just some of the dialogue and everything there's really witty. The whole Apple character that follows him around, she's really enjoyable and just a great companion. And then there's the badass guy who's just your stereotypical badass. That's just like, this is really cool. It's just a fun, stupid movie that I've watched a few times since it's come out. Yeah. No, I love that movie.
That's hilarious. So, I didn't think you enjoyed it that much.
Oh no, it's I watched it, and I think I watched it again like a week or two later.
Nice.
Like Jeremy Irons in there. Just, oh my god.
Yeah.
It just can't, like, self-aware campy sci-fi.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's such a fun take on just the 80s retro craziness.
Mm-hmm.
The shit that we used to watch in the 80s is pretty damn impressive. And this is just like a love story to that type of thing.
Like, if you guys seen Kung Fury, it's like a toned down version of that almost. Not so over the top as Kung Fury.
Yeah, this has more heart to it.
Yes, more heart and a little bit more grounded in reality, but that same feel to it.
Yeah, I'll say it has the same feel, but at the same time, like I feel like it captures the 80s heart.
Yeah, definitely
better.
Yes,
Like what a Kung Fury did.
not so much tongue in cheek.
Yeah, like it has that heart to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do enjoy that movie. that is a lot of fun. Yeah, so the podcast doesn't get like really drawn out, but like yeah, I you know what? Honestly, despite Marvel having a shit ton of movies and just churning like a couple out a year, I really enjoyed Ant-Man.
Ant-Man's cool. Yeah,
It wouldn't hit my top 3 list by any means, but it's just something I wanted to like mention and like talk about.
Well, yes, it's kind of different for Marvel at this point because it's not the whole the world's in save the world. It's not this huge blown out battle in the sky or anything like that. It's like a cool little heist thing.
Yeah, it's a little heist movie off to the side. It's aware that it's in the Marvel universe. It's just fun. I was pleasantly surprised when they announced the Ant-Man. I'm like, now they're getting to those characters that like I don't know anything about. I'm not too sure how they're going to do this to make me interested in it. I watched the movie. I'm like, holy shit, this is one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like, and that's what same exact story with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, how the hell are they going to do that? Hold it off.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
It comes down to good writing and good casting. Like, Paul Rudd does a great job.
Yeah, he does a phenomenal job. So yeah, that's on the list. I'll give you another one. Bridge of Spies.
Yeah, that's really good.
I really enjoyed that. You could tell. Okay, well, first off, Tom Hanks is just like the American actor. He's loved by everybody. He does great jobs in the majority of his films. It's him. But then you add Steven Spielberg to the mix, and you see what great direction is.
Right.
Like, we've watched a lot of movies this year.
Yes, we have.
And we watched a lot of crappy movies this year. And then you watch a Steven Spielberg movie, and you're like, I get it.
Mm-hmm. I
see the quality
yeah.
behind this effort versus something else that we watched.
Definitely.
So, yeah, it's a great spy espionage movie.
And I love that whole Cold War era type stuff as well. I always find it intriguing. So it's great to see a well-directed movie on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have no more honorable mentions.
You didn't?
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, yeah, I'm sure you...
So, going along with that, The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I still have to watch that. Damn it. I know you have. I keep meaning to watch it from you.
Just a fun little spy movie. Didn't expect very much from it when it came out. It's based on a 60s TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And Harry Cavill, who plays Superman, not in this movie, obviously, but
that'd be weird.
In general, does an awesome job in it. I think it's a fun little spy romp. Very, very self-aware, very tongue-in-cheek type of thing that is just fun.
Yeah.
So, Creed is on my list. Tomorrowland, Furious 7. Obviously, not one of the greatest movies of all time. Just a movie that I enjoyed this year. For Paul. And let's get into the disappointments. This is what I've been waiting for.
All right.
Go for it.
First one for me is Jurassic World.
Okay.
Because, that's the original Jurassic Park movie is such, once again, a really strong movie. Steven Spielberg, all that good stuff, has so much going for it. And so it's like, all right, let's bring this story again. Let's modernize it. Let's progress it. And they modernized it, but they didn't progress it at all. It's still the same story with all the kind of winks and nods to the original one. And it's just, it really kicked off the whole year of nostalgia type idea for me, where it's like, wow, Hollywood's really not trying to do much here.
Before Terminator Genesis or after? Or was it before?
It was before Terminator Genesis. Or no, it was around the same time, I think.
Yeah, we did a double feature.
Yeah.
Table on it.
Yeah.
I think. Didn't we?
We did. That's true. So, yeah, it's just really opened my eyes, like how much I feel like Hollywood is just kind of hamming it in these days.
It's not necessarily handling in. They are 100% aware of what people want. they want their franchises that they loved growing up with, and what they decided to do with those franchises was rather than push those franchises forward, they're going to give you the same movie over again.
Mm-hmm.
And just
because they made money before.
Change little bits and pieces of it because, like, all right, you want the nostalgia? Here's the nostalgia, and we're
just making it prettier for you.
And we're doing that with the technology now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
because there's several movies like that this year that told the same story over again.
Yeah,
with just minor differences.
We're going to get into it. Just you hang on, listeners.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's start with the. Before we start though, one movie that I didn't want to mention that I did like was Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.
Okay, that's an honorable mention. That's one.
Yeah, that was an honorable mention.
Yes.
I really dug that movie.
Yeah, that was a cool movie.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Okay, back to it. All right, so
to disappointments.
You mentioned Jurassic World. Completely agree with you. What's the second one for nostalgia?
I have one major one. I only have three.
Are you doing the one that just came out recently? Or are you going to do?
Yep, that's going to be my. I think I should show off for that one.
All right, so let's do Terminator Genesis.
Yeah, see, it's hard for me to say I was disappointed by it because I wasn't expecting anything from it.
Okay,
but
I was for whatever stupid reason in my head, I'm like, all right, they didn't want to go with Terminator 3. They didn't want to go with what was that? Salvation, the one with Christian Bale. So they didn't want to do that, which I thought was an interesting movie. To be honest with you, I thought Salvation's story was going somewhere different, which is something that the franchise kind of needed. However, audiences didn't think so. So they're like, all right, well, we're going to make a new trilogy, completely abandon Salvation and pretend it didn't exist, and we're going to go into a retelling of the first movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much content in that world to explore that they just don't get into. Mm-mm. And they can do a lot. They can do so much, but they don't bother trying because it's... How the hell are they going to fit Arnold Schwarzenegger into it?
Yeah, and that's a sad thing. The thing that blew me away, and the reason that, like, I was kind of hyped up about it, but another disappointment that I sent you and Adam, like, I think a week or two ago, a random text, just, like, showing you, like, an article that I read that, despite the nostalgia, despite, like, it having the formula to succeed, it didn't even break 100 million domestic.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Well, I mean, that just goes to show that Hollywood's not always right about what they think people want.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the difference between that and Jurassic World? It's the same idea of bringing back this old franchise to a new generation.
Yeah.
But what's the discrepancy between the two that made one super fucking successful, like Jurassic World, as opposed to I don't want to say a flop, but just not well received as Terminator Genesis?
I really think seeing John as in the trailer hurt.
I guess, yeah. I guess.
I think the trailers for that hurt people's anticipation for it.
Much like trailers hurt the reviews of Tomorrowland. Yeah.
I think that's one of the large parts of it. Because, like, you saw Terminator Genesis trailers everywhere. And you saw a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And the first ones were interesting because they kept a lot of it cloaked. But by the end, or really close to the release date, they were showing a lot of that movie. Like, the plot points and everything.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, it fell prey to the fact that it's like, all right, I just watched a 2.5 minute trailer and I know everything about this movie.
Yeah, that's very true as well.
So I don't know. All right,
okay.
Let's get to it.
Okay, the elephant in the room.
This isn't the end because I do have a couple other things, but
I have one other after this.
We're following the theme, so go for it.
The elephant in the room is Star Wars 7: The Force Awakens. Like, I'm not saying this just to troll. I'm not saying this to be, just ordinary and contradictory to the main hype, is I generally did not think that was a good movie.
Okay.
Like, the pacing of it felt so off. There was love and care crafted into it. It is a well-directed movie. I cannot fault J.J. Abrams for that. But the script just lacked so much depth. Everything was just paper thin. The characters were thin. The plot was thin. The beats were thin. It was just... you can only put so much pretty makeup on shit.
But it was successful.
It was. And, if you enjoy the movie, fine, great. I'm happy you enjoyed it, because I don't want to change your opinion. But for me, it's just not a movie I liked.
Yeah. It's a movie, like, I watched it 3 times. I've seen it 3 times.
That's right, you God.
I did watch this movie 3 times. And from the first viewing, where I shared your sentiment, to the future or the further reviewings, where I tried to look at it from the nostalgia point of view, it left me feeling needing more.
Okay.
In terms of, I immediately went to YouTube and I started watching reviews.
Okay.
And I watched a lot of reviews, trying to find peace at how I feel about everything. Like, I'd watch negative reviews. I'd watch positive reviews. I watched a lot of people talk about this movie, trying to search for that feeling inside of myself. And
search your feelings, you know it to be true.
Yeah, it's interesting, because, like, I agree with a lot of people. And the other part that scared me after watching so many of these damn reviews, because I'm addicted to YouTube and documentaries, and I just watch it every day of my life. So I watched a lot of these freaking reviews. When I say a lot, I mean I watched a lot. It was interesting watching people's perspectives, because, like, you had the age gaps, you had the age differences with Star Wars. And
okay.
And it was interesting watching reviews for people who grew up on the prequels, because those people exist now.
Yeah.
And those people have opinions. So people who grew up on Star Wars, who love Star Wars, but they love Star Wars because they watched the prequels. It's interesting watching people talk about The Force Awakens. Well, then you have people old like me who grew up on Star Wars, the original trilogy, and watching their opinions on it. Star Wars is this phenomenon.
Oh,
this is like...
There's no doubt about that. It has penetrated our culture, and it is not getting out anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's covered generations.
Yeah, multiple.
And made new fans out of those people.
It's covered at least 3 generations.
So it's crazy. And now we're seeing 3 generations of the Skywalker family, essentially. Although it's not
true.
confirmed. I still feel that Rey has Skywalker blood in her.
Well, I mean, you could even... I mean...
We don't know. We're speculating.
But I mean, we could say Kylo Ren's part of the Skywalker.
Well, yeah, okay, good point. Yeah,
So
it's all about the Skywalker family.
Yeah.
Essentially. But, like, it's really interesting just, like, talking about it. You can have a podcast just talking about it nonstop. I agree with your sentiments. There's a lot of problems with this movie. There's not a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of good visually.
Oh, yes.
God, that movie's a great visually.
Visually a great movie.
Watching the Millennium Falcon do stuff that I've always wanted to watch it do was such a geek out moment for me.
But as we discussed in previous reviews, like The Revenant, while visually an amazing movie, not much of a movie there. Yeah. So, I mean, while I can appreciate the aesthetic appeal to it, it disappoints me on so many other levels.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
The soundtrack, which you've talked about,
I still stand by that.
Yeah. And that's fine. It's not something I noticed, and that's probably not a good thing. If it was a good soundtrack, it would have stood out to me. But nothing about it stood out to me.
Think about all of the genius scores that he's made in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Not just the original trilogy, but even the prequels. The prequels got some great music that I absolutely adore, and I'll still listen to anytime because I loved those soundtracks. And then this one just felt lazy.
Yeah. Oh, like my mom said, for her, she enjoyed it. She said it was like visiting an old friend that you haven't seen in a long time. But it it was a brief visit with. It was kind of like, oh, hi, how are you? It's good to see you. Oh, I gotta run. That's how it felt for me.
Yeah, we'll see if they could. My hope for The Force Awakens is it wraps itself around the other two movies that are going to come out, and it makes it a whole experience as opposed to just separate entities.
Yeah.
That I can look back at this trilogy fondly and be like, okay, I can see what they were trying to do with The Force Awakens, and I'll appreciate it more because of the other two.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just that they're using this as the springboard, and they had to get a lot done, and that is my issue with the pacing and the thinness of everything. Yeah, it's just so that it could propel us to hopefully something greater. But I just, yeah,
there's way too convenient. So, there's a lot of convenient moments in this movie.
Way too many.
All right, so what else you got on your list?
The other thing on my list for disappointment is The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2.
Whoa.
I watched the first one, some time ago, and I enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't a great movie, but I saw it and I saw the potential of the series.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then I watched. When you said we were going to do a review for this new one, I was like, okay, I guess I have to watch the other ones now. So I did. And once again, I enjoyed them enough. And I saw what they were building to. And I was excited for what they were building to. And then we get to what they were building to. And we get there. And it just goes, like, it trips over itself. And the climax is like a non-climax. And it's just like, and it's just, once again, pacing. God damn it, directors, pacing. Like, I know there has to be good ebb and flow, and it's hard to pin that down, but fucking this movie ended like 5 times. Yeah. Like, you're just waiting for the ending and screaming to go black. You're like, oh, okay. Oh, no, there's still more? What the hell? It's a movie that just fell flat on its face, that just kind of made it feel like the whole series was for very little.
Hard to argue. I don't really have a good comeback to that, because you're right. Like, I had to. My daughter's 15, so when the Hunger Games came out, it was a very popular thing for her to read. Mm-hmm. And so she read those, and I read them to try to relate to her. And, I just felt like the series didn't know how to end itself. And that carried over into the movies. Yeah. And that's just an unfortunate thing where, like, it had a decent story, had a good direction to it.
Had a good premise.
I like Battle Royale. It's the same thing, just teenerized, I guess. But yeah, you're right. I agree that it is a little bit of a letdown. It didn't make my list, but it could have been better.
Oh yeah.
All right, so on my list, I'm gonna say
I'm kind of excited for this. Honestly,
are you?
I want to know what's on here.
Okay,
so
sure I have 3 other movies.
Okay, I'm sure I'm going to be excited to shit on them as well.
All right, Fantastic Four.
Oh my god,
Fantastic Four is on my disappointments list because I actually had expectations for it.
Yeah.
Josh Trank. Coming off of like Chronicle, like there's some talent there.
Yeah,
there's some they're trying to reinvigorate the franchise from the previous Jessica Alba and Chris Evans movies. Mm-hmm. Trying to do something different with it. I'm like, all right, you know what? I have not seen them do a successful Fantastic Four movie yet. I want to see what they can do. Let's get a good director, or let's get somebody new on it. Fresh direction. We're going to cause maybe a little bit of controversy, but we're going to try doing Johnny Storm being black or African American. We're trying different things here. Mm-hmm. We're going to see what we can do here, and I watched it.
We both did, and like it was a decent movie. until it got really dark and really scary, then became a utter train wreck within the last 10 to 15 minutes.
Well, the last 10 to 15 minutes, as we found out after the fact, was the studio trying to salvage the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because the studio pretty much fired director halfway through.
Because he was, like, going insane. Like, he was, like, being really odd and peculiar.
Yeah, he was being a very, very standoffish, isolating himself on set, like, just being really not talking to anybody.
Yeah.
Just
like, kind of disturbed almost.
Yeah, and the movie's dark. I mean, this is a Fantastic Four movie. When you think about Fantastic Four, you're thinking like tongue-in-cheek, kind of like bubbly type of thing. Not what you would expect like a Batman. Well, even Batman, 60s Batman is very comic.
Right, but
like,
Nolan Batman.
Yeah, like Nolan. Like you're not thinking serious tones or anything like that. It shouldn't be. It's Fantastic Four. This movie got dark, and this movie got dark quick. And they're just like, this is scary. How can a kid watch this and be like, holy shit? When they're like testing them, and like,
yeah,
it's like holy shit, man. But like I said in our roundtable discussion, Trank really wants to do an Akira movie.
yeah,
He's obsessed with making an Akira movie. So this is his attempt to make an Akira movie, using the Fantastic Four vehicle. And yeah, I wish someone would just give it to him, so he can move on from trying to make this type of movie over and over again, and he could try to do something different. But yeah, Fantastic Four was a train wreck in itself, so much so that I've had to watch it a couple times now.
Really?
Just to like be like, wow, this is amazing.
It's amazing in a bad way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's in my disappointments of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have another one or no?
No.
Okay, so then I will do another one. Spectre.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Rogue Nation being in your honorable mentions, Spectre is the other side of that coin. It's that whole spy espionage type of thing, just done poorly.
Paced poorly.
Yeah.
And it's Daniel Craig, who I've liked as Bond.
Yeah.
I like his presence. I like that they tried to make Bond a different type of action star, as opposed to traditional Bond, who's played like an 80-year-old Roger Moore who can't even move.
Yeah.
You have a person who's in peak physical condition who can do these stunts, do these crazy things, and they try doing it. They try to make it a Bourne Identity type of franchise, but just never could pull it off. So yeah, this is up there with Quantum of Solace in terms of disappointment, and I was bored to tears watching this movie. It was like, holy shit.
I talked to someone who was actually falling asleep in the theater watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like...
It shouldn't be that way.
No.
It's not.
It just should be exciting.
Yeah, it's a huge disappointment for me.
Totally.
So, the last one I have on my list is kind of... I don't know what the hell I was expecting. But I had a little bit of curious pleasure because I love sci-fi so much.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where Adam and I work downtown in Chicago, we work on like a 26th floor, and we worked overnight shift at the time, and they were filming scenes of Jupiter Ascending around Sears Tower, now Willis Tower. So you'd see the stunt double for Channing Tatum with his flying boots strapped, wired to a helicopter, flying around, doing like these action scenes and stuff like that. I'm like, oh man, this is kind of cool. And this is supposed to be a Wachowski brothers, Wachowski siblings. Sorry, movie. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I got hopes for this. They seem that they could try to do sci-fi. This is a different thing. This is not The Matrix, where they kind of bumbled. But I still had hopes.
Yeah, because... No, I know what you mean, because I look forward to cool, like, space opera type movies like that. I want to enjoy those. Mm-hmm. But this is just... It's weird, dude. This movie was fucking weird at some times.
And it was boring.
Yeah.
Like, the whole entire... Once she gets into space... they go through like a whole registration process, like it's a DMV
Yeah.
type of thing, and they spend way too long on that.
I mean, yes, admittedly a humorous and clever bit, but a bit that went on too long.
Way too long. And the main protagonist whispering all his lines.
The antagonist.
The antagonist is whispering all his lines.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know what the hell this movie is. It's such a weird,
Exactly. Yeah.
weird movie that just didn't go anywhere, and it paced horribly. Just bad.
Totally agree.
So yeah,
All right.
That's my disappointments for the year.
Now, those are some disappointing. Yes.
Yeah.
Disappointing movies.
Although Jupiter Ascending was on Polygon's best of list.
Dude, like, it was just funny because we both of us listened to the Rebel FM podcast.
Yeah.
And one of the people on there writes for Polygon, and he even draw attention to it. He was like, no, that's fucking ridiculous that was on that list. But he said there's people at Polygon who genuinely enjoy that movie. But then again, there's people out there who probably listen to our podcast who genuinely enjoyed Jurassic World and genuinely enjoyed Star Wars. So, I mean, yes, there are varying opinions, but I don't feel like there's that many varying opinions when it comes to Jupiter Ascending.
Not to put it on the 10 best or a top list.
Oh, God, no.
I just don't see it.
Yeah.
Even though it's interesting, it's nice to see sci-fi again because we don't get enough sci-fi movies,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't work, unfortunately. But yeah, we value your opinions, obviously. If you have something different, if you have stuff that you'd love to talk about, I know it's late and you've seen everybody else's top 10s or top lists of 2015, we'd love to talk about it. We enjoy that stuff. So if you write us an email, we'll read it online, or we'll read it on a future cast, and we'll talk about it and give you our opinions. So if you don't agree, hey, man, it's to each their own, and we still respect your opinions. So we'd love to hear it, and I guess that's it. Like, really, how can we reach you, Alex?
You can follow me on Twitter. My name there is Alex Sandberg, AlexSanberg, or email me directly at the website, alex@lostlevel.com. What about you, Chris?
I am on Twitter, twitter.com/calmintensity. I appreciate the new followers that I've received lately. That's awesome. Hopefully it's from lostlevel.com. Also, I'm on Instagram. It's Chris's Calm on Instagram. And we're on all the social media sites, like pretty much. We're doing a lot of stuff on YouTube now, uploading all of our podcasts. We're going to be doing some videos soon. We also have some exciting announcements that we're finally going to be doing a new podcast called Side Quests.
Yeah.
That is going to be ramping up very soon and start getting some episodes out there. So that stuff's going to be coming out to our social networks. So if you want to get into the know, go to lostlevel.com. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll get links to all of our social media, and we'd really appreciate you guys giving us likes, follows, stars, subscribes, anything you possibly can to help get the message out, and we really appreciate the new listeners as well to Lost Level. So thanks again for listening, and we hope that you enjoyed this show. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.